Today I'm going to make these sweet potato wedges, chips, fries, whatever you call them. They are just beautiful and full of flavour and super crispy. Keep watching, the recipe's coming up now. Hi, it's Jolene from Yummy Inspirations. I share easy family meal ideas every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Make sure you subscribe to get notified as soon as something new comes out. And today I have for you sweet potato wedges. They could be called fries or chips depending on where you're from and how thick you cut them. So I'm going to show you how to cook them. The recipe's coming up right now. These are my 3 sweet potatoes, which I'm going to transform into sweet potato chips, fries. Oh, can't wait. So you can either use 1 enormous sweet potato, 3 skinnier ones, 2 medium ones. Just take it by what you've got on hand, how big your tray is, how big your family is, how many you need to feed. What I'm going to do is trim the little ends, peel them and cut them into chips. Right, I've peeled and I've chopped them into, well, these look like fries, don't they? They're kind of like wedges, chips, whatever size that you'd like to cut them into. The most important thing is that when you do cook them, you give them lots of space to cook, but I'll show you when we get to that stage. So I've chopped one of my sweet potato. I'm going to keep going and chop the others, and then we pop them all into a large bowl, and we're going to cover it up with water. Now, because my sweet potatoes are fairly long, I am cutting them in half. The kids are playing behind them, husband's shushing them. I'm cutting my sweet potato in half, and then to get my chips, sorry, my knife skills are not the best. Try and do this while showing you. We'll cut the sweet potato in half again, and then each of these pieces will cut into chips, just like that. They're kind of more like wedges than chips, but as I said, my knife skills are not the greatest, so I'm doing them as best as my skills will allow without chopping my hand off. So cut them as thin. You can even cut those thinner, but we cut quite like chunky chips like this, and so I'm going to keep going and cut the rest of my sweet potato. Once all of your sweet potato are chopped to size, look at this big bowl full of chips, then we're going to cover it up with water. Right, I've covered up the sweet potato with water, and that just helps to wash off a whole lot of the starch. Will make them extra crispy, and now they're just going to soak for an hour. So I'm going to set an alarm for an hour, and in an hour we will move on to the next step. The hour is up, and now I have preheated the oven to 200 degrees Celsius, that's 400 Fahrenheit, and we're going to drain the sweet potato wedges and then dry them really well. I've drained the sweet potatoes, and now I've got a dry tea towel and clean tea towel, and I'm just going to get them nice and dry and then pop them into a clean and a dry bowl to season them up and get them ready for cooking. Pop the sweet potatoes into a clean dry bowl, and now we're going to add our seasoning. We've got a teaspoon of salt. We are going to do half a teaspoon of garlic powder. There's the garlic powder going in. Oh, I love garlic. And now we're going to add a half a teaspoon of paprika. There's half a teaspoon of paprika going in, and now we just need to add our arrowroot. We're going to add a tablespoon of arrowroot powder. This helps to absorb any leftover moisture and make these nice and crispy sweet potatoes. And give it a good stir or a good shake around to get all the seasoning and all the sweet potato. You could also do this in a Ziploc bag if you like. Okay, and now we're going to just drizzle over a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to pop 1 and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil over, and give it a final good stir through. Make sure everything gets coated nicely. Oh, it smells amazing. You can add any other herbs and spices that you like, but this is my personal favourite sweet potato combination. And now we're going to pop it onto a well-greased baking tray with well-greased baking paper lined on it. So I've lined a really large baking tray with my baking sheet, and now we're just going to pop our sweet potatoes on. Leave as much room as possible in between so that they can crisp up all nice, and you can do it in batches if your tray is big enough. I'm just going to get on and fill my tray. Right, my baking tray is full and I've got lots of space in between them, and that's going to go into the preheated oven for 15 minutes, and then we're going to flip it over and do it for a further 15 minutes, so for half an hour, and then just keep flipping every 15 minutes until it is perfectly crisp to our liking. They've been in the oven for 15 minutes, and now we'll just flip them all over and cook for a further 15 minutes on the other side, and just keep flipping them every 15 minutes until they are crispy and cooked through to your liking. The sweet potato wedges have been in the oven for another 15 minutes and they are crisping up nicely. Just grabbed a knife and fork and we're going to turn it over one more time and do it for, I'm going to do it a further 10 minutes. So I did it 15 and 15 and then 10 minutes. But that's my sweet potatoes in my oven. You might need to do it another 15 minutes because I just want it a teeny little bit crispier all around. So we'll pop it in for a final 10 minutes and then see how crispy they are. Look at this beautiful plate of sweet potato wedges. They are so crispy and full of flavour. It's just the most perfect way to enjoy sweet potatoes. Thanks so much for watching the sweet potato wedges recipe. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe. I share new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, and subscribe to get notified as soon as something new comes out. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.